Matr/mater comes from the Greek and Latin words for mother. A matron is a mature woman with children. And matrimony is marriage itself, the traditional first step toward motherhood. Maternity, the state of being a mother, motherhood. It's quite possible that the Mona Lisa is a portrait of maternity, and that the painting marks the recent birth of her child Andrea. Maternity is used as both a noun and an adjective. Maternity benefits are benefits specially provided by employers for women having babies, and usually include maternity leave, time off work. With maternity come maternal feelings, which are shown by all species of warm-blooded animals as well as a few reptiles such as crocodiles and alligators. Matriarch, a woman who controls a family, group, or government. Every August all the grown children and their families are summoned to the estate by the matriarch. A matriarchy is a social unit governed by a woman or group of women. It isn't certain that a true matriarchal society has ever existed, so matriarchy is usually treated as an imaginative concept. But there are societies in which relatedness through women rather than men is stressed, and elements of matriarchy may be stronger in certain societies than they are in most of the Western world. And most of us can point to families in which a woman has become the dominant figure, or grande dame or matriarch. Matrilineal, based on or tracing the family through the mother. Many of the peoples of Ghana in Africa trace their family through matrilineal connections. A person's lineage is his or her line of ancestors. So matrilineal means basically through the mother's line, just as patrilineal means through the father's line. Matrilineality is an important concept in anthropology. Among other things, it usually determines who will inherit property on a person's death. Though families that follow the European model take the father's name and are therefore patrilineal, matrilineal societies have existed around the world, including among various American Indian tribes. Matrix 1. Something, such as a situation or a set of conditions, in which something else develops or forms. 2. Something shaped like a pattern of lines and spaces. The country's political matrix is so complex that no one who hasn't lived there could possibly understand it. In ancient Rome, a matrix was a female animal kept for breeding, or a plant, sometimes called a parent plant or mother plant, whose seeds were used for producing other plants. In English, the word has taken on many related meanings. Mathematicians use it for a rectangular organization of numbers or symbols that can be used to make various calculations. Geologists use it for the soil or rock in which a fossil is discovered, like a baby in the womb. And matrix was a good choice as the name of the reality in which all humans find themselves living in a famous series of science fiction films. Aqueduct comes from aqua, the Latin word for water. We keep pet fish in an aquarium at home or visit larger sea animals in a building with that name. Water sports such as swimming, canoeing, and sailing are sometimes called aqueducts. In Scandinavia there's a popular drink called aquavit, the name coming from the Latin aqua vitae, water of life, though instead of water it mostly consists of alcohol. Aquaculture, the farming of plants and animals, such as kelp, fish, and shellfish, that live in the water. The farming of oysters by the Romans was an early form of aquaculture that has continued to the present day. For most of the modern history of aquaculture, only costly fish and shellfish like salmon and shrimp were harvested. But new technologies are allowing cheaper and more efficient cultivation of fish for food, and such common fish as cod are now being farmed. Seaweeds and other algae are also being grown, for food, mostly in Asia, cattle feed, fertilizer, and experimentally as a source of energy. Aquaculture is now the world's fastest growing form of food production. Aquanaut, a scuba diver who lives and works both inside and outside an underwater shelter for an extended time. Each scientist at the laboratory spent 2 weeks a year as an aquanaut living in the deep sea station. Aquanaut combines aqua with the Greek nauts, meaning sailor. Like astronaut and aeronaut, the word may remind you of those mythical Greek heroes known as the Argonauts, who sailed with Jason on his ship, the Argo, in quest of the Golden Fleece. Various underwater habitats for aquanauts such as conch shelf, sea lab, and marine lab have captured the public imagination since the 1960s. Aqueduct: 1. A pipe or channel for water. 2. A bridge-like structure for carrying water over a valley. Roman aqueducts were built throughout the empire, and their spectacular arches can still be seen in Greece, France, Spain, and North Africa. Based party on the Latin ducere, meaning lead or conduct, CDUC/duct, the word aqueduct named an ancient civil engineering marvel. You may have seen photos of the great arches of ancient aqueducts spanning valleys in countries throughout the old Roman Empire, practical pipelines that are also regarded as works of timeless beauty. From the 20th century, the 242-mile Colorado River Aqueduct, the 336-mile Central Arizona Project, and the 444-mile California Aqueduct are considered wonders of American engineering, but they are not renowned for their beauty. Most aqueducts today either are river-like channels or run underground, perhaps appearing simply as a long mound.